Let's go back on the phone now to Mexico Beach, where we are joined again by Patricia Mulligan. Again, her daughter captured these dramatic images of a sea of destroyed homes. Patricia, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. First things first. Are you and your family safe?
Yes.
Okay, good. Tell us what you're witnessing around you right now in Mexico Beach.
Well, right now the water is receding a little bit. There's no intact houses that I can, well, one. Pretty much all the houses are missing roofs, siding. My brother's boat capsized over here. He owns the marina, and all the docks are gone, and the water came up to the level of the palm trees just before the fronds.
If you had to estimate how deep the water is in these images that we're looking at that your daughter captured from just minutes ago, how high do you think that is?
Well, it went up to the top of a palm tree, and palm trees, these ones are standing about 12 to 15 feet, and the water did go up to the top of a roof. So.
Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, and so I'm going to ask you, why did you and your family decide to ride out the storm?
Well, we didn't think it was going to be this bad, and we are in a very good, secure place. We're in a condo, 4-story, that's solid construction block. I mean, it's concrete block. It's got, hurricane windows. I mean, so,
What message would you like to get out to emergency officials in Florida or in Washington, D.C. about what Mexico Beach, Florida is going through right now?
Oh, devastation. This is total devastation. I mean, my brother also has a house on the beach that's gone. I mean, there's nothing left of it.
So we are looking at the images that your daughter took earlier, and it looks like just an entire neighborhood, block after block of homes where the water is up to the roof. The homes are completely underwater. Normally, what does it look like there? What should we, what would we be looking at right now were it not for Hurricane Michael?
You would be looking at some very beautiful homes. You'd be looking at a lot of nice boats. You'd be looking at, just beautiful beach neighborhood. Gorgeous. And not now.
What is the last time? How long have you lived in the area?
I just moved up here from Miami 2.5 months ago. And I lived through Hurricane Andrew back in 1992.
How does it compare? How does this storm, how does Hurricane Michael seem? They're saying this is the strongest storm. It seems as strong as Hurricane Andrew to you.
Same devastation, same winds. The building we were in is huge, and it was shaking, it was vibrating and rocking. So huge.
The concrete building that you're in was rocking?
Concrete building, very scary, very, very scary.
How old are the people in your family? I mean, the children.
Tessa is 12, but then I have my brother. We're all adults.
Okay, everybody's doing okay?
Yeah. No, we're all fine. We're all fine, and we even have water damage up here. That's the water was coming in underneath the doors and underneath the windows.
4 stories up, you have water damage.
Yeah.
How about your neighbors? Are they all okay as far as you can tell?
They were with us. They lived next door because these are all also vacation homes, a lot of them. So, a lot of these aren't even have people living in them.
And Patricia, when you look out at the devastation outside your window, is this something that you think it will take weeks, months, years to fix?
I would have to say at least as long as it did for Hurricane Andrew, and that took months and months and months, could be even years.
All right, Patricia Mulligan, we're glad that you and your family are safe. Thank you so much. Stay in touch. Let us know if you need anything and you're not able to get through to the governor or federal authorities.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Let's bring in CNN's Gary Tuchman now. He's live in Crawfordville, Florida, which is southeast of the capital of Florida, Tallahassee. Gary, tell us about the conditions where you are.
Well, Jake, we actually moved to a new city not far from Crawfordville, Panacea, and I'm going to tell you why storm surge kills and why it could still kill tonight. This road and it is a road. It's called Surf Road, ironic name. We drove down this road about 7 hours ago before the storm hit. It was an 8-mile drive, and it was fine, and now it's become a lake. As a matter of fact, behind me, it gets to about 5 feet deep. And the problem is there's no barriers here whatsoever. And the sun sets about 3 hours from now. And someone could come down this road, and the speed limit here is 55 miles per hour, and just drive into this water, and their car can float away. And that's why storm surge is so dangerous. And that's why so many people were concerned about it when we heard that the storm surge in this area where we are, Panacea, which is east of Panama City, where we heard it could be from 9 to 13 feet, the surge. It doesn't appear it was that deep. But nevertheless, you have water that's 5 feet deep behind me. What we saw here today, Jake, all over this area east of Panama City, was people just kind of stunned how strong this hurricane got. We and others reported that this was going to be a major hurricane, but we did not know it was going to be a 155 mile per hour hurricane, a strong Category 4, just 2 miles short of becoming a Category 5. Never in the history of the state of Florida, with its panhandle, have they ever had a Category 4 storm hit the panhandle in recorded weather history. And as a matter of fact, you were just talking about Andrew, this is one of the strongest hurricanes that's ever hit the United States. So people knew it was going to be a major hurricane, didn't know it was going to be this strong, but because people in Florida are so hurricane savvy, Jake, we have found, we've been driving all over, and we have found for the most part, people did evacuate. They got away from the water, and we've been through lots of small towns in this area, and most of them have been virtually empty. As long as we've been here, we haven't seen any cars passing through here, but I'm absolutely very worried once the sun sets and it gets dark that someone could drive through this water, which is now up to 5 feet deep. Jake?
So just to reiterate this, because obviously there are people who are in the middle of the storm and in the path of the storm, and also individuals in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Gary. Where you are right now, just a normal road in the Panhandle. There are no lights, there are no barriers, the speed limit is 55. And behind you, the water actually gets as deep as 5 feet deep. And so you are extrapolating that it would be very easy for somebody thinking that everything is safe to be driving down this street, seeing some water, thinking maybe it's a couple inches, and then all of a sudden they're in 5 feet of water.
Let's put it this way, Jake. When I was driving down it just now with my crew, it's daytime, and I had to put on the brakes very swiftly when I saw the water here. And also, 2 miles up the road in front of me, and this is a northerly direction, there was a huge tree in the way of the road, and we had to drive around the tree, and we just saw that at the last second. So that's what I'm saying. Even during daytime, it's sometimes hard to see when you're being cautious, and you're a journalist who's been covering these things now for 30 years. You can imagine what it's like for residents here going back to their homes at night. Hey, I want to go home. I want to make sure everything's okay. They drive down here, and this is now a lake. So it's very dangerous, and that's why storm surge is such a huge problem when it comes to hurricanes.
All right, Gary Tuchman in the ironically named Panacea, Florida. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Stay safe. CNN meteorologist Jennifer Gray is going to give us the big picture now. She's tracking the storm from the CNN Severe Weather Center. And Jennifer, explain to us what's happening, where our correspondents and crews are. Let's start with Panama City Beach.
Panama City Beach is now getting better and better by the minute, which is good news. I know John Berman has been in it all day long, so he'll be relieved to know that. We are still getting rain in those areas, but the winds are gradually dying down as this storm heads to the north. It's still very powerful, though, Jake. It has winds of 140 miles per hour with gusts of 175. It's moving at about 15 miles per hour. It should be right on that Florida, Georgia, Alabama border by the time we get into, say, the 6 o'clock hour. And so a lot of people will maybe be driving home from work, and you're going to be in the middle of a hurricane. This will most likely be at least a Category 2 by the time it crosses into Georgia. And of course, it is going to produce a very heavy rain. It still has a tremendous amount of wind with it, and also tornadoes. That's one thing we have to look for as well. There's an extreme wind warning in place, and that's basically a long-standing tornado warning because winds are going to be as strong as a tornado would be. And so you have those extreme wind warnings that are in place. We have a lot of trees in the Panhandle as well as Georgia. We're going to see a lot of those trees go down. The power lines go down as well. We had 130 mile per hour gusts at Tyndall Air Force Base today before the gauge broke. And so winds were much higher than that. We had reports of winds well over 100 all across the Panhandle. And as we go forward in time, look at all of this rain across Georgia all throughout the overnight hours. Some areas could pick up as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain in just a very short amount of time. So we're going to see flooding across Georgia, and then this rain pushes into waterlogged South Carolina and North Carolina as early as tomorrow. And so, yes, this storm is a very fast mover, but it still has a lot of moisture. It's pumping a lot of rain and a lot of wind with it. And so we're going to pick up 6 to 10 inches, not to mention we still have hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings that extend all the way up into the Carolinas. And so, Jake, this is far from over. We are now assessing the damage along the Panhandle, those coastal areas, but areas inland, don't let your guard down because it's coming in the next couple of hours.